I'm Laurie Dobson, and actually I'm in Northeast Harbor today. It is February 16th, 2021. This video is about the ongoing censorship that I'm experiencing and others are experiencing at the Great Cranberry Island and at the Historical Society. But it's affected also by the Cranberry Isles information page. I found out just this morning that my Cranberry Isles information page rights to comment have been suspended for 3 weeks until March 10th for no reason. I haven't posted there. The only reason possible is the petulance of the administrator of the page and others there that decided that because I have been commenting in opposition to what they've been posting on that page. When I was on that page, all I did was question why, and I didn't go into anything. But because I questioned why they were censoring and excoriating the people for deciding to put a movie up at a place they don't even see movies, they don't even go to the Great Cranberry Isles Historical Society, the people that were most vociferous that I am no longer allowed to comment even on the Cranberry Isles information page for a small comment, a very small comment. And to the extent that I was just asking, why they were making personal comments on the page, personal political comments that they were saying weren't allowed on other in other places, like the board at the Cranberry Isles Historical Society. So, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, briefly, I was at a movie. 4 people went to a movie at the Cranberry Isles Historical Society. Every week we have a movie on Saturday nights. And this last time I was the movie that was objected to was about the election, the presidential election, and it was called Absolute Proof. So I just wanted to go to see it, and I was curious, and I had my curiosity satisfied. Enough said. I've seen movies I haven't liked before. I've seen movies that haven't convinced me. My opinions about movies are my own, and I was just glad that I had the opportunity to explore something outside of my wheelhouse, a little different than I've usually experienced. And I appreciated the difference of opinion and was able to just go beyond my guesswork and see exactly what was being stated, stipulated, etc. And the more information you get, the less censored you get by other people, the more you're able to trust your own judgment and make your own mind up. And in this case, I really resented afterwards so many people piping up on the Cranberry Isles information page, making comments about how inappropriate and terrible it was. And so my comment to the Great Cranberry Isles Historical Society's page was to the effect of appreciating that the controversy has a place in society. And that's the long and short of it. And without it, you run in danger of becoming censoring that you don't allow other opinions, and that is the basis for a fascist kind of an environment, and that's not something that I want to see here. And so they should do better on that. And my comment it looked like it was briefly taken down on the Historical Society's page, but it's back up now if it was indeed taken down. So I don't know if it was or not, but it's back up if you want to see it. And if you want to see my comment, I can post it. But anyway, this ongoing censoring and then backing off of censoring, but then censoring again. I mean, that's what the culture is doing right now. So I guess people feel that that's part of what we're allowed to do to each other while we're sitting in our homes, not having a life, in lockdown, busy telling other people what they can do with their lives when they're out and about going to movies. I think that the bottom line is people just resent that other people are going to movies. How dare they go to movies in COVID? How dare you have any kind of activity in COVID? It's become the great censoring of life in our country, and it's got to come to an end. People are at their wits' end at this, and we're causing mental health breakdowns on a huge scale. The people that aren't going mental, going out of their minds, are acting irrationally when it comes to basic freedoms. And I also see people doing this extreme criticism of other people's views and differences of opinion. And in a civilized society, reasonable people can disagree. In a civilized society, people can have differences of thought, and we don't have to lose our composure when we entertain two thoughts in our own minds. Careful, this is really slick here. This particular hill. Excuse me. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say that I remember from a past experience in Kennebunkport that caused a big brouhaha and ended well was when a gentleman, G. Bud Swenson, decided to make some pieces. He's an artist, and he made some works of art in a needlepoint in a collage of cloth, and he made them in various states of pictures of people. And two of his prominent pictures were of President Bush at the time and and Vice President Cheney, and they were put in with like metal. It's kind of ironic, metal barbs across their faces, like they were the Hannibal Lecter, as if they were barbarians with these horrible masks on their faces. Interesting in light of today, and people had a real problem with these pictures, so they had a meeting at the library because that's where they were put up. The protest pictures, and the issue purportedly was that he had used the American flag for the cloth. So it was clear, there was stars and stripes that composed these pictures of these presidents doing unprecedented things back in the day. They all realized that the more important issue at hand was allowing free expression, that it has its place, it's important to respect it. And the library just issued a disclaimer, and it just said, we don't support this. Generally, we're not here to support this. It didn't say one way or another. As a library, we're here to allow the promotion of controversial elements such as banned books and other things we don't necessarily espouse or believe ourselves, but for the purpose of the viewing public, we want to show what is a personal interest to people. And it was decided that there was enough protest and concern and other points of view that they would be remiss in censoring and taking down this artwork, and they did not. So it caused a sensation. It was in the papers. It became a cause celeb, and people weighed in. And in the end, I believe justice prevailed. Freedom of the press, free speech prevailed. So I really respect that decision coming down. As I recall it, I believe that's how it all ended up. I hope anyway, in my mind. But I'm pretty sure that's how it went. And I just hope for the best for Great Cranberry. But I do see something here that is not an easy thing, and I don't think it's necessarily being handled well. And I think it's really important to set a standard of leadership here, and nobody else seems to be interested. So I've stepped up and I've said free speech is more important than somebody's discomfiture, temporary discomfiture and movie they don't agree with for whatever reasons. It's not going to cause, a president to return to office. There's no harm in this. There's no harm in allowing people a disgruntled, unhappy response, just like what happened after Trump was elected, when so many people marched on Washington in pink hats to protest what they felt was a wrong result in the election. Are we so obtuse that we can't remember 4 years ago when the same thing happened, only on the opposite side? I don't believe in any political party anymore. I'm soured on both of them thoroughly. I have been since I ran as an independent in 2008. And the only reason I ran as a Democrat for Bernie Sanders in the first place was because his policies seemed sensible, and I wanted to support the policies. But the parties, I've worked really hard to support reform inside the parties. Now I think reform is going to come outside the parties when people rebel against what these things are doing, that what's happening. The corruption has gotten to a point where honest people can't make any headway. So that's how I feel today. And thanks for listening.